Hello, my name is Antiquus, GM of Pyrrhic, and I will be providing you with a narrated walkthrough of how to kill Kel'Thuzad in 10 Player Naxxramas. Kel'Thuzad's encounter is broken up into 3 phases. During Phase 1, Kel'Thuzad will be untargetable and will send enemies to the center of the room where the group should be standing. Phase 2 is when the party engages the boss himself, and Phase 3 is when he asks for help from the Lich King and 2 adds join the fray. First things first. Have your entire raid move as a group to the center of the room and onto the green circle right in front of Kel'Thuzad. It will light up and the encounter will begin. If any party members get left far enough behind, it is very possible that all of the enemies that spawn will instantly aggro that player and one-shot the poor bugger. So, make sure everyone is paying attention for the move to the center. After this feat is accomplished, enemies will slowly start trickling towards the center of the room from all directions. Initially, it'll be very slow, with soldiers of the Frozen Wastes, skeletons with 1600 health that explode for 4000 area effect damage when they reach their melee target. Have your ranged nuke these from a distance before they get to your raid. Soon, unstoppable abominations will begin moving in with the skeletons. Have a tank pick up each one and have the melee DPS them down. With 2 tanks in the raid, you should make light work of these, as each tank can easily hold one at a time. Eventually, Soul Weavers, Banshees, will join the fight. When these nasties get into melee range, they cast an 8000 damage knockback on 3 players. Have your ranged kill these extremely slow enemies. Phase 1 lasts 3 minutes and 48 seconds. During this phase, you will fight 71 skeletons, 8 abominations, and 8 banshees, unless of course your party pulls extra adds from the edge of the room. When Phase 2 begins, Kel'Thuzad will become targetable and his threat list becomes active. Have a tank pick up the Lich quickly so that none of the raid members die. It doesn't really matter where Kel'Thuzad is tanked. Generally, I just pick him up where he spawns and hold him there for the entire fight. For both this phase and the next, Kel'Thuzad will have the same attacks. Kel'Thuzad's main attack is a Frostbolt. He'll cast it on his main target. It is fully resistible, but not reflectable. It does up to 13,000 damage to the target and slows its movement speed for 4 seconds. He also has an area effect version of the spell that does about 5,000 damage to everyone in the room. It's not a bad idea to have a Paladin's Aura or a Shaman's Totem up to help the raid resist it. He uses this every 15 seconds. Periodically, Kel'Thuzad will use Mana Detonation on a random mana-using player. After 5 seconds, that player will explode. This takes 2000 mana away from the target and deals 10,000 damage to anyone within 10 yards around that player. Please note that the player itself, with the detonation, doesn't take damage from the attack. Just make sure they move away from everyone else. Kel'Thuzad also summons Shadow Fissures. These appear beneath players and after 5 seconds deal about 100,000 damage. Move out ASAP. At 40%, Kel'Thuzad will call for aid from the Lich King. 2 Guardians of Icecrown, Crypt Lords, pop out of portals from the sides of the room and engage the raid. Have your off-tank pick these up and hold them for the remainder of the encounter. These 2 enemies have as much HP as Kel'Thuzad, so don't bother trying to kill them, just focus on the main objective. Every 15 seconds, the Crypt Lords stack a buff on themselves, increasing their damage output by 15%. Eventually, if you take too long to kill Kel'Thuzad, they will kill off the off-tank and wipe the raid. Frost Blast is why you need to make sure that under no circumstances anyone be within 10 yards of each other. Kel'Thuzad will cast this on a random player in the raid and freeze them in a block of ice, as well as anyone else within 10 yards of that player. Over 4 seconds, each afflicted player will take 104% of their total life in damage. Make sure affected players call it out so that the healers know who to focus on. Kel'Thuzad will not cast this in the tank, but if he casts it on somebody within 10 yards, the tank will be effective. Aside from the ads, nothing changes from Phase 2 to Phase 3. If the off-tank gets Frost Blasted, put some major healing on him. Blow all cooldowns before the ads get overwhelming, and when Kel'Thuzad dies, they will run away, and the fight is over. Congratulations. Thank you very much for listening. For more videos and strategies, check out our website, www.funwithpyrrhic.com. Good luck, and may the loot be with you.